Welcome to another tournament in a tea break. It's day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's 5.
It's 5.
Cinque.
Stampini. Okay, we'll explain that at some stage. It's another late finish, thanks to the amazing comeback ability of Coco Gauff. I've got to be honest with you. I thought she was toast. I thought she was well and truly toast. Coco Gauff drew Polona Hertzog and was basically getting schooled. I think is the fairest way of putting it. Looked like she was going to lose the second set. I mean, she gave more fight in the second set. Looked like she was going to put up a bit of a battle, and then from somewhere forced a tie break. And oh my goodness, this kid is amazing. I mean, you can tell how flummoxed we are because it was just a fantastic piece of watching someone mature right in front of your eyes, if you get what I mean.
Oh, it's a feel-good story, right?
Yeah.
This has been a wonderful week for captivating moments in the press room and around the grounds, with Gauff coming back from match point down in the second and having a really tense atmosphere out there in center court in her first appearance ever on that court, and being the more mature player, being the player that had it together more than Polona Hertzog did. It's just unreal. And it's funny because we're in our little bubbles in the press room. We're all very passionate about it. But I went for a walk after that match, and the grounds were just like bubbling with this excitement that a 15-year-old is into the second week, the youngest player since 1991, and she's got all kinds of style. It's like you said, it's fun to watch her just mature right in front of our eyes. We had no idea that this was coming so soon.
No, I mean, she's been knocking on the door as a junior. She's made, I think, finals of junior slams.
She won Roland Garros.
Yep. So
last year.
she's not without talent. But she's just got such an old head on her shoulders, and yet when she comes into press, she's just like a regular kid, just all bubbly and like kind of. I mean, we didn't see the face of the moderator, but I can just imagine when she sort of sat down and said, "Oh, hey, this new album dropped today." I was like super excited, and you can just imagine the moderator's like, "Album dropped? Does that mean we have to pick it up off the floor? What does this mean?" And then halfway through, she kind of launched into a story about how her mum and dad left her babysitting her baby brothers so they could go out and watch Beyonce and Jay-Z, and how mad she was. And again, you just had visions of this moderator like, oh God, how do we get back on track? However, she is on track. She's doing amazingly well, and I think she's going to be a headache for one Simona Halep.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, Anisimova was able to take out Halep in Roland Garros. Who would have predicted that? I thought that would be the end of the road for Amanda. And I just don't really know what to expect from that match because Gauff really hasn't faced a player of that caliber yet. It'll be a really interesting experience, a learning experience no matter which way it turns. But gosh, I still can't get over watching Gauff in press. The glow, the youthful enthusiasm, and also the maturity. She's wise beyond her years. This kid, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I think it's amazing. I mean, it's interesting because one of my colleagues was like, "Oh, can we just stop talking about her being 15? If I hear anybody else saying about that she's a teenager, I'm going to scream." But it's like, but that's the whole point of the story. This kid is doing this. The last time I saw this much excitement, I would have been Hingis, and then maybe Sharapova before that.
Yeah. I mean, way back. It's been a long time. Yes, we're always excited about teenagers, making their way. Just last month, we were thrilled to see 3 teenagers, including a 17-year-old, reach the second week of Roland Garros, and then of course it was Anisimova in the semis, and then 19-year-old Vondrousova was in the final. All this stuff is so exciting to us, but then you take it up another level when you're talking about just 15 years of age. I mean, yes, it's too much to ignore.
I mean, it's interesting. We have a Romanian colleague that joined us for a drink last night, and he was really worried about Simona Halep versus Victoria Azarenka. So let's just quickly sort of drop on that because obviously Gauff gets Halep next. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought that this was going to be the match of the day, the match of the tournament. And it turned out to be anything but. And I don't mean any disrespect, because I think a lot of people desperately want Vika to come back to the tour as she was and to be able to sort of challenge as she did. And I think it's coming, but it's not there yet. and you know, she didn't take her chances. And as soon as she opened the door in the second set, Halep just charged through. There was no stopping her. And she's looking stronger. You know, when she started this tournament, she looked a bit tentative. It's like, you know, if you've got a house cat and you put them outside for the first time and they have their feet on grass and they're like, oh my God, what is this? That was what Halep was like right at the beginning of the tournament. It's like kind of picking up her paws and like, oh, I don't know about this stuff. And like, you know, today she looked like a grass court player.
Yeah, you know, she's really.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, she. It's really about her staying poised, getting low, keeping it simple, not overthinking it. You know, using the slice here and there, but playing her game, and that's what she did. She imposed herself on Azarenka, who just kind of keeps running into walls. When we think she's ready to burst through these walls, she runs into him and gets stopped, and it's a little bit. It's hard to accept right now because you want it to happen for her so badly.
But there's no shame in her losing to a former number one and a slam. You know, there's no shame in her losing to Halep.
Absolutely. Good
so
point.
You know, let's put it into perspective. There's absolutely no shame in her going out to Halep at this stage. She's done well to get past this stage. She should have gone out in the second round to a seed. So you know,
right.
let's be honest. But. It will be an amazing matchup. On the flip side of the coin, we had Karolina Pliskova and Shea.
Great match.
It was a great match, actually. It was a very entertaining match. Pliskova has already been quite sort of Pliskovalian in her assessment of Shea's game, but Shea carved her up good and proper in that second set. She sliced her and diced her, and then some of the rallies in this match, you know, were just incredible. Yeah. Incredible stuff.
Just put a smile on your face.
In fact, that was the match of the day. Yeah. Apart from Goff, that was the match during the day.
Yeah, Shea did everything we know she's capable of doing, and she did it well, and she forced Pliskova to run all over that court and to play her game quite a bit. And Pliskova did a great job of overcoming the obstacles today against Shea, because I didn't think it was going to go her way, really, because I thought Shea had her on a leash quite a bit. Clearly in the second set and then parts of the third, it was a great contest. And you know, say what you will about Pliskova saying, "Oh, I wouldn't want to practice with her. Her game's too strange," or who would want to ever practice against that. There's a lot of respect between the two. I was really happy to see the way they approached each other to net. Yes. You can tell there's mutual respect, and that Pliskova is just like, whew, sigh of relief. I got past that. Yeah. That difficult challenge.
Yeah.
That's going to give her a lot of confidence, I think.
Let's go back. Let's have a quick chat about the men that played today, or the men that we thought were worth chatterooing about.
Sure.
Yeah, Djokovic didn't have it all his own way with Hubert Hurkacz. He kind of Hurkaczed the cold. I mean, the first set, you know, Hurkacz stayed with him, and the second set took it on the tiebreak, I think, and then, as you would expect, kind of tailed off quite badly. But yeah, again, so now all of the big three have dropped a set.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's quite kind of. Now, do you think that there's a changing of the guard?
No, absolutely not. I think that Djokovic used the most important thing that he had in that match, which was his maturity and his wisdom. And after the second set, where Hubert Hurkacz played some amazing tennis to take that to a tiebreaker and then to win it. I mean, he had the crowd going for him. He was really making some athletic play out there. So it was impressive, but Djokovic just knew that he could pounce on him. He knew there'd be a letdown early in the third, broke twice in that set, got another early break in the fourth, and kind of eased through the second half of that match. It was very professional for Djokovic. I think he won it mentally. I don't think he had his best tennis, and maybe that's a concern as we go forward. We'll see how he looks in his next match, but overall,
I think he admitted that as well, that there was still plenty for him to improve on.
Yeah,
I think the other one of note to talk about was Guido Pella taking out Kevin Anderson. In retrospect, is it as much of a surprise? Because Anderson has only just come back after injury. He got a massive bump in the seedings. He came up 4 places in the seedings with the seeding formula, and has underperformed to the formula, which will mean a fairly hefty loss of points for him. But then again, he is coming back from injury. But a great result for Pella. And again, some amazing rallies between those two.
Yeah.
There was one that looked like a Wii game, like Wii tennis.
Oh, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
Amazing.
Yeah, Pella really has impressed. I'll be honest with you, he's impressed me all season. He's had a couple moments where he let down. He didn't do as well as you would have expected at Roland Garros, but he's got his first career title. He's a really good player, but this is his 20th major and his first trip to the second week, so it's good. It's a big moment for him and a nice one. Emilis Raonic next will be tough, but potentially he could get through, I suppose.
Right. So on to tomorrow. And let's look at what we have. Now, of course, people were full of anticipation that we were going to see Serena Williams and Andy Murray. Unfortunately, though, with Serena on first on number one court, they cancelled that match so that she wouldn't be playing late. Now, that is a bummer because she admitted that she needed more matches. And really, she could have done with having that match ahead of Julia Gerges, which is actually going to be quite a tricky match. Gerges is on good form on grass. And I remember asking her in Birmingham, her results have gone up and down a little bit over the years. And she said, I think I had to accept that grass isn't perfect. And you are going to get dinky little bounces. And it's not going to do what you want to do. And once I accepted that, I began to play better, which I thought was really interesting. So last year when they met in the semi-final, Serena Williams battered her. Went past her like a knife through butter. So is it going to be the same again? I think Julia might certainly fancy her chances of grabbing a set off her, because she, if Kaya Juven can do that, then why can't I? And if Serena comes out slow against Julia, then she's in real danger.
She is. I think Serena needs to be 20, maybe 30% better than she was in her last match. Particularly if Gerges plays well, she has the weapons. She can be a real headache on this surface, so it could potentially turn into a real nice match. Serena's going to have to play well, I think, to get this win.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to do any harm, because last year she had such a cakewalk draw. She basically sailed through the draw without any issues whatsoever. And the only real competition that she had was Angie Kerber.
Was the end.
Who actually had a fantastic game plan, which was first strike tennis, be aggressive and take it to her. And it really caught Serena out. So that could be a shock. What I don't think is going to be a shock is Ash Barty basically rinsing Harriet Dart. I think it'll be a great experience for Harriet being on centre court, but yeah, she's going to get battered by Ashley, because Ashley is on, a 14-match winning streak. She's dropped one set in all that time.
She's on fire right now, so relaxed, so good on the surface, and just doesn't appear to be breaking stride as she moves through this draw, at least not yet.
Yeah. Roger Federer faces Luca Pouille, and Rafael Nadal has Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. This is centre court. Now, we think, after all the histrionics of the Nick Kyrgios match, this could actually be as good a test for setter, if not a 5-setter, with Joe. Explain.
I think Joe's in real good form right now. Looked, like we said, he looked good playing Federer and Halle. Took a set off him. He's relaxed. We know he's a great grass court player. We know how lethal his serve is. If he hits his targets on serve, stays with Nadal, gets to a few tiebreakers, I don't see why he can't take a set, maybe even more. We've seen him do so many great things at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And moving over to Federer and Pouille, that one I'm just hoping that Pouille shows up and plays the kind of tennis he's capable of, because otherwise it could be really ugly. And of course, other British action, Jo Konta, can you believe her and Sloane have only played in 2019, and the record is 3-0, 3-love to Jo. So I think this is going to be closer. I don't think this is going to be a 2-set. I don't think this is going to be 3 sets. But I see Jo squeaking it, just simply because it just lends itself to more aggressive play, I think. Do you then, answer me this, Ros, do you worry about Konta now just having that her luck has to probably run out against such a quality player, or do you think she can really just keep this streak going? And how many times in a row can you beat a player of Sloane Stephens' caliber?
I know.
That to me is the challenge.
Yeah, that's the challenge. I mean, she's due a dip. I thought that Siniakova was going to be a bigger challenge than she was. In fact, ironically, I think Bogdan was a bigger challenge. But yeah, and then after that, we've got Dan Evans and João Sousa. That could be winnable for Dan.
It can be.
He's in tremendous form.
Saw him out there with Roger Federer today practicing.
Interestingly, though, they put Petra Kvitova on probably the slowest of the big show courts, the big ticketed courts, number 2 court, which is all the way out over in the car park.
First up too.
And first up as well.
I don't love that decision personally.
No.
Maybe it's because the lack of star power from her opponent Magda Linette.
Maybe.
It could be tricky, but Petra's been real good. I expect her to get through in straights.
Okay.
I really do.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll be back again tomorrow, depending on what time we finally get out of today. But
I think we can do it.
I think we can do it. So, as always, you have been listening to Ros Satar
And Chris Oddo.
and hopefully we'll be back soon. Bye.